Okay, I can't remember which KOs I've done, so I'm doing an official. Okay, and we're going to review this Transformers Earthspark Deluxe Optimus Prime. He has wheels and they roll, and he's fine. I'm very much of like two minds with this figure. In some aspects, I like it. In other aspects, I'm like, really. But it's a nice enough little alt mode. It's very straightforward. There are a couple of niggles that I'm not 100% keen on, but he's all right. The feet are right there. You got to remember, this is kind of like the lower price point. I don't think there's a better version of this been released, but fine. It's got that stupid symbol with the tiny little Autobot symbol in it. Like Megatron's got that with the Decepticon. I don't like that, but whatever, it's fine. He kind of looks a little bit TF Prime-ish if you squint and imagine he's made out of cardboard. And that's something that I'll get more into with the robot mode. Yeah, it kind of looks like... It looks unofficial. It looks like someone's made it out of like Lego or something, but badly. Yeah, size comparison. So there's Legacy Wild Rider. So it's deluxe-ish. And for some slightly more interesting comparisons, here is the little Rise of the Beast 2-pack Prime that I just reviewed. And without the trailer, because that would be a bit unfair, Earthrise Prime. I mean, this is just a jokey toy, like, oh, that's a bit of fun. That one, gets a pass. This one is the most accurate figure that they've released, as far as I'm aware. So, and then you got G1 Prime. So you see very much like this is supposed to be G1 Prime, like after the war. That's what that's supposed to be. So you go from this. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, do you? Right, okay, good. So, I mean, it's got the little yellow lights, and although that one's slightly chipped, I don't know how, pipes, but they've put some details into it, and they've done some work. Some. But I suppose we should transform it because that's where we're up to. So, we're going to go to the bottom here, and we're going to get this axe, and we're going to dislodge it. Come on. The axe has got like this little U-shaped connector. See that? And this has a little U-shaped connector. But if you turn them upside down, so that's that way, this will overlap with that and plug into place. Remember this U-shaped connector? For example, you can see another one there. Bear with me. So we'll put that over there for now. And you may have also spotted, the eagle-eyed amongst you, his cannon being stored in there. I can't remove that because it's structural. I'm not kidding, it's actually structural. So if you get any of these second hand and they've lost the gun, you're going to have a terrible time trying to get it to hold into vehicle mode. Trust me. And now we're on to possibly the worst part of this transformation. Yeah, right at the beginning. These side pieces here are the forearms, and they tab into this bonnet, nose of the truck, whatever. There's a little tab that goes in each side. Now you can't just pull this out because it hasn't got the clearance. But to get these side pieces loose, you need to get this tab out of what will be the thigh. To untab that. So now you have to sort of work with the untabbing of the thigh and try and wriggle this around and fight with it and play with it. To get that tab out of that slot. So let's do this again and wiggle and pull. Yeah, okay. Got that out. Now you can untab the nose. It's got a tab there that goes into that little slot at the front there. Okay, Might as well bring these shoulders out to the side, considering we're mostly there. Flip out the hands, they're on ball joints, which I actually appreciate. You know, it gives him wrist articulation and works with the transformation. I'm not going to complain. It's a bit hollow, but really, on these figures, I don't expect any more. Get those out. Now we come to the back. And what we need to do is wriggle this out. This connects with the handle, goes into that hole there, and this little tab goes into that little gap there. Okay? So when you're transforming it, you line that up, and it tabs in. And that is what keeps the legs straight. Well, yeah, in the right position. The first time I transformed it, I'm like, why are the legs going everywhere? Because my legs were floppy. Okay? For argument's sake, I'm going to pop this out. There are these two tabs on the inside of the knees here that go into, I think, the very bottom gap there. That one. You know, like that. Okay? So, take that out. And I'll put these back together. And if you get this lined up, and there's nothing to stop these moving around, it doesn't really work, is what I'm saying. Anyway, these would be separated. So now we bring the waist section down, this silver piece, and it tabs in there. The little tab piece goes in. Come on. See a little tab piece there. There you go, into place. Rotate the waist. Might as well flip out the feet. They just flip out. Now we bring this up onto the back like that. Flip this top panel over. There's a little slot there that this little tab, see that goes into? And there's a hole in the top there that this tab that originally went into there goes into. And that makes this one nice solid backpack. It's a backpack, but it works. It's fine. We've had worse. Okay. And now just tidy him up a little bit. And now all we do is we get the head, possibly by this big nub in here, flip it up, and turn it around. And there we have Earthspark Deluxe Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And see, from there, he looks okay. From there, you're like, yeah, I mean, he's got the right colours, he's got the right proportions. Well, you know, it's like red, blah, blah, blah. There's grey there for his arms, blah, 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 blah. Everything looks fine. But let's go a little bit deeper. So, for example, that. Even animated Prime would be like, whoa, that's a big chin. His head's tiny, except for this big faceplate. I don't know if this is a mistake with the paint. It's like on the sort of vented area, but it's also on the inner line. I'm tempted to try and scrape it off or something, but then I don't want to damage it. It doesn't look right. And the body, it's got like these extra pipes and a big grill, which, you know, potentially is supposed to be the grill from there, but you know. Legs are quite gappy, completely hollow at the back, although they've got ports. Like, you're supposed to plug the gun into the back of the leg. Like, what's the idea of that? It's just, I don't dislike this figure. Let me just point this out right now. Although I sound like it. I don't dislike this figure. I'm just being completely honest with you. Like, he ticks a lot of G1 boxes. But, you know, I mentioned cardboard and stuff before. It's what this is like. It's like someone who's homemade, you know, cosplay. Like, they've made an Optimus Prime costume out of cardboard and stuff. And they've done their best. I'm not knocking them for doing their best. But it just doesn't quite look like the real thing. Oh, and in honour of the Collector 75, groovy. Ash from Evil Dead. Anyway, yeah. Like, that's a little Diddy thing, but you can tell it's definitely Movie Prime. This is an OKO Prime? I don't know. There's something about him. But then, of course, you bring in this one. And this is G1 Prime. This is completely G1 Prime. This is the most accurate one outside like masterpieces and stuff like I've ever seen. And you can see like the window chest, vent, grill chair, body, lights on the thing, yeah, fine, great. That, all the silver on the light, yeah, it's close enough, yeah. Smokestack, it's all there. It is, I can't fault them, it's there. But on the degree of quality from being a 10, this one, it's definitely drifted down to like a 4 or a 3. I know it's the style of the series, but there's something definitely weird about it. It doesn't quite work for me. Finish the size comparisons. There's Dragstrip. So, yeah, he's deluxe. He might be slightly taller than Megs. I suppose we should do the accessories, although I've already kind of ruined this review. So he comes with his little axe and his little pew-pew. And they can go into the hands as such. And as such. And that gun's way too hollow. There are reasons for it, which I'll get into in a second with weapon storage. But it does look way too hollow. It feels kind of short too. I don't know. The axe is a bit... looks like something you'd find in B&M in clearance. Like, oh look, hutcha, hutcha. Come on, really? I don't know. There are a lot of things I have against this figure, but it's not really the figure's fault. Weapon storage, as I was saying. Well, there is one. The first one I found was, if you look here, look, they're U-shaped dents. U-shaped connector. So you can put that up there if you want. You can. But as this only has dents and not the actual sticky out part, well, so if you work it out the right way, which would be that way, you can actually plug the gun onto the back. Come on, line up. Come on, don't make me look stupid on camera. I can do that on my own. Really? Am I doing this wrong? I think I am, yes. There you go, that's better. Plug that in there. And if you don't want this sitting up there, which we'll do just for the... so you can see, look, weapon storage. Woo. If you don't want that up there, you can actually take this off. Wow, what have I done here? That's me being rough. Don't blame the figure, that's me. Leave that plugged on there. You can actually plug this into that. Must go that way, but still. So you can kind of store the weapons at the back, and it's... I mean, you can see them, but at least they're not in his hands. A lot of these joints were very loose, like this knee. I've had to... well, you can see the little blue hint on the grey. I've actually had to put super glue in there and move it, and it's still not amazing. Works, not amazing. And that's some floor... floor polish. That I need to scrape off. As a bit of fun, if you really like the series, he's fine. I don't regret getting him. Although I could potentially got the Grimlock from the series. Still, I don't regret getting him. But I can't say he's a great figure. He is what the series wants him to be. He does that perfectly. But I still can't say he's great. That sounds really mean, but I'm trying to be honest with you. I mean, it's not his fault, but he's got that to live up to, and he ain't going to do it. I'm going to scarp it. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I shall see all of you in the next one. Evil Dead reference.